48 First Alert Weather Day. Sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Continues to look delayed as far as the threat for severe weather tonight. They put the tornado watch out and they cut it off at the state line, and there's good reason for that. The storms are still well off to our north, and the environment right now is still capped. That means it's too warm in the upper levels of the atmosphere to get thunderstorms. We're waiting on this frontal boundary to get closer. So it may not reach the state line until after 2 o'clock in the morning. So again, if you're staying up late tonight, we'll continue to keep an eye on it for you. But right now, this is all well north of Nashville still. These are big storms up here south. It's been a rough day in Bowling Green, by the way. I just noticed that. They had a possible tornado move through very close by earlier today, one just to the south of them now. A lot of lightning in Clarksville as you get to the north. But then there's this big break here, and that's the other thing trying to figure out. Model guidance not doing a good job on this. And I will put this, if it continues to develop back here to the southwest, may not make it into Tullahoma until a little after 1, maybe 2 o'clock in Florence, at 2 o'clock in Russellville. So one other thing that may happen is we may see this boundary here farther to the west. That may move more east, so that would be more likely to arrive than what we see up here to the north. That's more likely going to take a northerly track. So a lot of ours is contingent upon this area filling up, and the challenge is that cap. So there's some good news in the forecast. The other part of the good news is the fact that we're going to have a really nice Saturday afternoon. So I don't think it's going to rain all day. It's going to be real nice tomorrow afternoon. Got to get through tonight, though. The main ingredient for the severe weather outbreak to our north has been, take a look at that big comma there. That's the upper level low. We may have a similar situation farther south by Sunday into Monday for parts of Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, and that could translate down the road to some stronger storms for us as we go through Tuesday. So just kind of a heads up on that. Here's the model guidance. I've adjusted it a little bit to show you the current conditions here. I've delayed it even more because they continue to try to put these storms in here around 11 o'clock, and that's just not going to happen the way it looks now. So we go past 11 o'clock. Notice how things start coming together here around 1 o'clock in the morning. I think this is probably between midnight and 1:30 in the morning at the earliest from Florence to Nashville. Thing to keep in mind is the later this arrives, the less likely we'll see stronger tornado threat. We're probably still looking at enough wind shear for these low-end small tornadoes, but I think the highest impact we're going to see is a lot of lightning and very heavy rain and some occasional gusty winds, 30 to 40 miles an hour, but some isolated wind gusts still could produce damage. So that's one thing we'll keep an eye on. At 2:30 in the morning, Huntsville to Moulton up to Tullahoma, and then quickly exiting around 4 o'clock in the morning. And I think that as farther east they get, they're going to continue to weaken somewhat overnight tonight, just to lose that upper level support that's kind of driving everything and has been driving everything so far today. Here's your Saturday, beautiful afternoon. That is sunshine. Probably the nicest day we've had in a long time. Drier air, too. It's overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning. We're going to watch another boundary coming in, some clusters of thunderstorms. So we may wake up with some stronger thunderstorms out there. And Jeff Denoyers will be tracking that not only tomorrow morning, but Sunday morning for you as well. Here's your daily rain chances. Kind of all depends on what time of day. Tomorrow's 20%. Will be late tomorrow night if they move in early. And then Sunday will be a morning round of storms and then scattered storms in the afternoon. And then we're watching Tuesday closely. But Margot, take a look at the forecast. At the end of this 10-day forecast, we've been waiting for a break from this active weather for a while. 67 Thursday. That's well below normal. High temperatures next weekend could be right about normal in the low 80s.
I like when you use the word normal. That's what we need.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, Brad.